a question for you.
Yeah, I have an answer.
Where did you get your taste in music? I've heard you singing.
Man.
I've heard you singing old folk tunes. I've heard you singing like Led Zeppelin. I think the first time I ever met you, you were wearing like a 5X tie-dye Led Zeppelin tee.
Yeah.
Who gave you your taste in music?
Ultimately, my mom and my dad, they're just rockers. My mom's like more Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. My dad's kind of like, how in hell? You know, he's just kind of into it. So I guess the morphing of that barfed onto me. And then my brothers liked rock music, so yeah.
Did your parents have like records? Did you have a record collection, or did they just forcibly push that music onto you? Like, how did you find the bands that you liked over time?
I just sat in the back seat and was quiet, you know? Just, there we go. Listen to whatever they put on.
When did you start actually like doing music, like playing, singing? Like you
I've always been a singer.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a little girl. Like me and my mom used to sing together. We still do, and even my grandma. I started playing guitar when I was 14, but before then I was in band and I played the tuba.
You did?
Yeah. Big old sousaphone.
Did you pick the tuba, or
Yes.
did you go into the room and they said, oh, trumpet, okay, great, here's a tuba?
Yeah, they gave me options, and first it was a flute and like a saxophone, and my best friend, Aaliyah, was playing tuba, so I was like, perfect, I'll get to sit by you and sit in the back and be the bass line, let's go.
Were you good?
Yeah.
Did you actually practice and put the time in?
Yeah. I love the tuba, I miss it.
How long did you play it for?
Probably from 9th grade to 12th.
Really?
Yeah.
You were the tuba player at your high school?
There was more, but I was kind of the best. Except for Ricky. Ricky was great.
Is that your friend?
Yeah, it's one of my friends from high school. Ricky, he was real good at the tuba. He'd like dance around with it and stuff. I miss that guy. I hope he's doing okay.
Well, Ricky, we're thinking about you right now.
Ricky!
Kat, I'm not gonna hold you here any longer while we have this beautiful day here in California. I want to play Frisbee with you.
Let's go.
You have a signature catch disc right now, but we are at OTB, and I like sharing things from my collection. And I know most of my collection is old Discraft, but this is an old Guts disc, so one of the first like sport discs ever made for Guts back in the day. I believe they were having tournaments for it in like the late 50s, early 60s. Some collector can correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's how long ago it was. Not very stable.
Okay, that's
very
cool.
light.
Perfect.
And OTB did a run for their tournament, and I just want to take you back in time a little bit and toss a Guts disc. Have you ever thrown one of these?
No, I'll probably have to take the tailwind on this one.
Have you played Guts before?
No, I don't even know what that is.
You pretty much stand with your team like 5 in a row, and then like, what is it, like 14 yards away, the other team stands 5 in a row, and you take turns chucking this disc at the other team. Yeah, and that's it.
That sounds so fun.
And to like score a point, they have to drop it, or you have to get it past them below head level.
So is it like dodgeball in a way?
It's the opposite of dodgeball.
Okay.
Like, well, no, you're right. Actually, that's not the opposite of dodgeball. That's exactly what it is. You have to catch the disc if you want to stop the point, pretty much. So like, people don't get out, but like that's how you score points. So like,
that's pretty great.
One of the first disc sports ever. And yeah, let's go back in time. Let's toss.
Sick.
I think it's not intuitive to catch one of these because of how fast it's spinning. I feel like anytime you throw one of these with like a non-thrower of a disc, they forget that you have to stop the rotation on it. And if you try to get soft with it, it bounces off your hand.
Hi. The carpenter bee.
How many bugs do you feel like you can identify?
A few. It kind of just depends on if they're like dangerous, really.
What does it make it more identifiable when they're dangerous?
Living out in Arkansas, I lived in the field, right? Straight up and down. So I kind of had to like figure out what could hurt me.
How in the country were you? Like how far out there?
I live in a town with less than 500 people out in the country. Like little small town politics and cliques kind of deal. We just got a Sonic. Let's go. Praise God.
How many people of those 500?
Wow.
How many of those 500 did you know?
I want to say about 100 of them because I went to school with some of them.
So like you didn't know everybody in town for 500 people?
Well, no, because like in the South, people are doing drugs, man. About 300 of those people are like on the back roads, just cracked out.
Oh, really? So that's like a problem in your hometown?
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Sad.
It happens.
So like, if you got in trouble though, it seems like the whole town would probably find out at some point.
In a day.
Is that scary?
If you care about other people's opinions.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
I mean, I know the cops in town. They ain't gonna do nothing to me. Just kidding.
Hey, Mark. Hey. Do you remember as a little student in elementary school, like how you behaved?
I was feral. I was not a good kid. I was smart. I learned different and I had a lot of energy, but the teachers just really didn't know what to do with me because of the way I was.
What were you into? Like, what were you into as a kid?
Oh gosh. Well, Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Nintendo 64, Star Fox, McDonald's, Sonic, swimming, being outside, going literally catfishing. I used to have like 16 cats at one point because they breed like rabbits.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're pretty bad. And I used to do this thing called catfishing where I would take a piece of hot dog and tie it to a string and just like hang it over the deck, and when the cats would bite it, I would lift them up. And yeah.
I thought you meant like catching catfish.
No, I wish I've caught a catfish, I'd be sick.
You said catfishing as if everyone in the world has heard of hot dog fishing for stray cats.
Yep, they weren't strays, they were loved.
I kind of forgot, when did you start even playing disc golf? I know you've been playing a long
When
time,
I was like
but...
14.
Okay, high school.
Yeah. I was living with my dad at the time and I was going through some rough stuff, and dude that was just sleeping on our couch, he's like, "Hey dude, me and your bro are playing frizz." And I was like, "So am I." So yeah. Woo.
Are you naturally competitive?
Yes, I have to be. I'm the only girl in my family.
Talk about that. I don't have any sisters.
Well, there's a lot of testosterone naturally in the house, and I feel like my brothers thought I needed to like get a backbone or something, so they were kind of tough on me. And now I'm here, and I'm the way that I am.
I think the way that you are is not too shabby. How are you feeling right now at this point in the year?
I'm feeling better. It's been kind of a tough year up in the head for me, unfortunately. You know how it goes in life.
I do.
Also, I think I'm like, it's growing pain, which is weird. Like, I feel like I have all this knowledge for how young I am, but I'm still as young as I am.
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing, baby?
Here, I'll get him.
Dude,
That's
smoke 'em.
Paige, right?
Yeah. Get you some chicken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh.
That's right.
That's television. So, as a disc golfer, professional athlete in this sport, how much do you run? Like sprint, jump, run?
Big fat 0. I should start running now. I have some goals. I have some ways that I'd like to be. I'm just not there yet.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really practice and I should. And then I complain every week why I'm doing bad. Now I'll get there. I just need to prioritize my time, and this is like #1 for me right now. So that's my main priority.
I understand.
But having some type of like things to do
Yeah.
would be good. I just get anxious when I'm like, oh my God, I'm like 5 minutes late to my run. So, double-edged knife for me.
I understand. Do you feel the pressure to like make money every week, or do you just try to like let go of that?
I try to let go of that. I think about it every now and again, but I also got to remember that money is not #1 in life. And if you allow it to become #1, well, if I allow it to, then I ultimately won't be happy because I'll never have enough money. So I try to just remind myself that I am gonna die and it doesn't matter one day. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you're gonna die. So I'm trying to enjoy life.
Is that like a vital part of being happy, is accepting that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice.
What is like a happy part of life? Like I always think of happiness as like a phase or like you said, a mindset or choice.
Yeah.
It's not to be confused with joy.
Yeah.
Which is like when someone surprises you with a burrito and you're hungry.
You're like, oh my God, dude.
Oh, I love this burrito. And then you eat it and you're like, that was cool.
Happiness is like sitting down after a day of working hard and doing what you need to do to go forward and just looking at life for a moment, like just truly appreciating the opportunity to be alive, to try, even if you don't make it that day. I think that's what happiness is. Wow.
Oh, that was cool. I agree with you. James Conrad, I asked him a similar question when I played catch with him, and he was just like, you know, if I take care of myself and I take care of the people in my life, that's pretty good for me.
Right?
I was like, that's a pretty simple way of looking at it, and I feel like a lot of people can take something from that.
They can.
When did you know that you were doing this like forever? Like when did you know?
When I threw my first good shot and I won my first tournament.
When was that?
Like, I don't even know, like 2016 or 17 or 18. I don't even know, man. I just won my first tournament and I was like, yep, this is what's up. I'm gonna be the best.
Did you like scheme, like, did travel logistics seem crazy for you, or did you just say, I don't care?
I don't care. I only get one life, at least for this one. This is my last life for a little bit until my soul gets to go rest. And then I come back as whatever, but yeah, pretty sick, dude.
So like, did you first start touring with your, with friends, or did you start your car? Like, when did you?
I kind of did like a mini tour with Ricky Otti for a little bit, but teenage hormones kicked in and I kind of ruined that. And my mom would take me to a lot of tournaments. God bless her, she got a second job to support me.
No way.
Yeah, when I was a teenager and wanting to do this, she got a second job at the college. She's a very sweet woman.
So now I understand like why you were so excited when you hugged her after winning JomezPro.
Yeah, it's not all for her, but that moment was kind of let her know that it wasn't money wasted.
Yeah.
And I'll have many more. I mean, I'm so young.
Man, you had me crying.
I've had a lot of people come up and say, man, I was crying with you, dude. We love you.
Do you like that? Does that feel good or weird?
It goes both ways. I think I have a little bit of imposter syndrome because this lifestyle still is weird how I just manifested all of this.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like here, like I'm playing catch with you, getting filmed, it's wicked.
Kat, I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome more, but let's throw your polecat.
Okay.
So let's get the polecat, because I feel like I have been plagued with imposter syndrome for like ever.
It's so wicked, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you're doing this. Give yourself some cred.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then now look at you. You have like your name on like.
My name is engraved in the disc.
What?
It says Cat Mertsch engraved in the disc. I found that like a week ago. It's engraved. Now, why would anyone want this little country Hicks Frisbee with her name engraved?
That is so cool.
Yeah, buddy.
Talk to me about like pro wrestling. You came dressed up as Randy Savage last year. Did you watch pro wrestling growing up, or was that just kind of a gag that you did?
Well, to be honest, I started seeing like a bunch of videos on Instagram of like these wrestlers. And the Macho Man came up and I was like, we're related. This is my cousin or something. So I kind of took on his identity for a little bit. And yeah, I am the Macho Man reincarnated.
I just love that it's on your polecat. And I think the polecat is the most wonderful signature disc. Kat, I'm telling you, for years, I was like, why are they not making this disc in like a modern plastic? And they did,
really
and I was
nice.
so thrilled. Yes, I was so thrilled. Man, I had a DX Polecat. One of my first discs was a DX Polecat.
Straight up?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like you're a kid playing disc golf and you're like, I don't get physics. I don't know what physics is. Why do these discs always dump to the left? But you know what disc doesn't dump left? The Polecat. I felt like an absolute genius throwing that thing. You know, the one thing I will say, when I was playing disc golf for the first time, no kids my age played. And I felt so sad. And this was like Chicago. You'd think there'd be more kids playing tournaments, and there was like nobody. And I tried to look up Junior Worlds. I asked my mom to go on the dial-up so I could look to see if there were junior disc golf tournaments, and I couldn't find it. I think Junior Worlds used to be Am Worlds mixed together, so I never got to go, but I would have just killed to go as a little 12-year-old. Did you ever end up playing Junior Worlds?
I did play in Junior Worlds. Probably some of the funnest times ever, dude. In Emporia, 2 times. I got second both times. Cynthia got first the first time, and Melody Castrita got first the second time, and then I went pro after that. But I really wanted to win bad.
Yeah, well, you're putting yourself out there, and I feel like that puts you ahead of 99% of people that dream of doing the same thing, but just never do.
True. You got good points. Oh my goodness.
Oh! There's one, we got it. Last thing I have to tell you, Kat. Your cat's name is Jim Leahy, correct?
Jim Leahy and Wonder Quartz.
So, Music City Open recently, I'm commentating in the booth. Something happened to where the front door to the building had to be opened and left ajar. So I'm commentating, and all of a sudden, I look to my left, and Jim Leahy is like in the studio, and he just goes, ah! And then he just walks off and walks out the door.
Yeah, he does that a lot. He's a very talkative cat, man.
It's like he walked into the studio just to go like that to me, and then he's like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, that cat's an like straight up, I love him to death, and I will never ever get rid of him until he dies, but that cat has attitude problems, and we beef. Now me and my other cat, Quartz, he's such an angel. He's so cool, dude.
Do they get along?
No, they love each other. Unless we're driving, and then Quartz will be up on the dash, and Jim will too. And Jim will just like out of nowhere just smack him and hit him and hiss at him and then go back to sleep. I've seen it happen multiple times. It's kind of crazy.
Kat, thank you.
Hey, this
My
has been
hero.
good.
Thank you for your brief time. Oh, yeah.
Gobbles.
Do you have any final words for the people that are like sitting here going, wow, we just watched someone play catch with a disc for 20 minutes?
I hope you guys drink some water, take care of yourselves. That's all
Flat water too, not sparkling. It's
Yeah,
not a
don't do-
replacement. So,
Yeah,
still good though.
it happens.
Talk to me about Nintendo.
Huh?
You love Nintendo.
Yeah, it's got good memories for me.
Me too. What was your favorite game? You say Clunker's Bad, what was it?
Clunker's Bad Fur Day. It's about this red squirrel that gets drunk and he ends up like away from his home and he has to go do all these quests to get back. It's an R-rated video game. I wouldn't suggest anyone to play it if you're like light on the stomach or very closed-minded.
How much did you game as a kid? Like how many hours a day were you?
Not very much. My brothers were gamers and I liked watching them game.
I see.
Yeah, like my brother Wedge, he would play Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Grand Theft Auto. We had a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, man, those were the days.
Coming up next on Catch, Brian shows Scott Stokely a disc he's never seen before.
Yeah. If you look,
It's not a Sky Streak.
no, Sky Streak came out in '83. I am hearing that not many people know about this disc, and it sounds like you didn't either.
No, I'm actually mesmerized because I feel like I know most everything from the early days of disc golf. I'm not familiar with this disc, so you actually did. You said you were going to surprise me, and I was like, yeah, give it your best shot.
Find out next time on Catch. Catch the next episode on the Disc Golf Network January 21st with a JomezPro YouTube release January 28th.